To analyze a 1700-year-old religious framework, it is necessary to examine the original mechanics of the institution. For centuries, these mountain monasteries operated in complete isolation. There was no unified global strategy and no central administration dictating their daily functions. Resident monks dedicated their days exclusively to spiritual practice. They possessed absolutely no infrastructure for mass public administration, marketing, or hospitality. This extreme isolation protected their cultural authenticity for generations. However, it also left the monastic system structurally defenseless against sudden macroeconomic shifts. That vulnerability was exposed during the 2002 World Cup. A massive influx of international tourists triggered a severe logistical housing crisis across South Korea. To solve the shortage, the government engineered an ad hoc solution, converting sacred temple grounds into temporary tourist accommodations. This visualization outlines the resulting tension. This overlap birthed a dual mandate, an urgent demand to extract economic tourism productivity while simultaneously preserving the spiritual purity of the 𝗤𝗍 order. An ad hoc housing measure cannot survive long-term. Without structural intervention, the sheer friction of commercial tourism would inevitably erode the sacred asset it relies on. In 2004, the South Korean government and the 𝗤𝗍 order formalized this temporary measure into a permanent strategy. The 𝗤𝗍 order established a semi-independent body, the cultural cores of Korean Buddhism, positioned directly between the public market and internal monasteries. This central administration absorbed all marketing and digital reservations, physically blocking commercial friction from reaching the temples. The solution relied on a deliberate structural irony. The best way to protect a spiritual institution from commercialism was building a corporate wall around it. Behind that wall, the daily reality for resident monks remained intact. They were completely insulated from the administrative burden of running a global hospitality network. By extracting the friction of commerce, the administration allowed the monks to focus entirely on the flawless execution of traditional rituals. Cultural authenticity in the modern era is not a passive, natural state. It is a highly managed environment that requires active administrative shielding to survive. This map illustrates the operational baseline of the program in 2004, beginning with exactly 36 participating temples. Under the direction of the centralized governing body, the network rapidly expanded, reaching 141 operational locations by the year 2021. This high-efficacy growth is directly attributable to the central administration. Decentralized, localized efforts historically struggled to maintain even a fraction of this scale. This dataset serves as empirical proof that scaling heritage for global audiences is structurally possible without degrading the core product. The overarching rule for scaling sacred heritage is clear. Central administration must exist strictly to serve as an institutional shield for spiritual practice. Removing the business of tourism from the spiritual practitioner is the only viable way to maintain the authenticity that visitors travel to experience. Documenting these structural mechanics provides a clear analytical framework for protecting vulnerable cultural sites worldwide. The Korean temple stay system provides a tested global blueprint for sacred heritage preservation in the 21st century.